So we met our goal for this video. We got it broken down. It's in a million pieces. We got stuff everywhere. I got that Banshee motor I'm going to be almost done with. What I'm going to do is go over the powder coating of the frame, the color that I use, and also just let you all know, if you're going to have things powder coated, this is how you need to bring it to the powder coater. Because, you know, when you have your price set for things, or people say, hey, you know, I want you to do a frame, and you say, you know, $200, $250. Okay, that's fine. You kind of will and deal based off of the powder. So, you know, if I already have the powder here, $250, and if you want to get your own powder, $200, but you pay for your powder, and then you just kind of will and deal based off how that goes there. But that doesn't include like cleaning your frame. If you bring a crazy oily frame that I gotta weld this and straighten that, you know, it will bump stuff up. So just be mindful about that. So for the most part, you want to get all that stuff taken care of. Just the powder on for now. Not ovened or not gelled or anything. Got the VIN number masked off, you can't tell, but everything looks good. Ready to go into the oven. For about 10 minutes to let it flash, and it'll come out, then we clear it. Alright, so it's like a purplish right now, but the illusion gets its color with the clear, but this is all gelled out. Take off that VIN. I think it's going to look pretty good. Alright, YouTube. Hey, my name is Kenny. Thank you for checking out the channel. Alright, so in today's video, what we're going to be doing is something really quickly. We're going to go over powder coating the frame, getting your frame ready to be powder coated, and exactly what you need to do. This will help your powder coater out a ton. I'm only going to take about 10 minutes of your time. And, you know, just kind of explain why you need to be doing what you're doing. And if you want these things done, this is what you need to do. Powder coating your frame, powder coating any of your parts. It's universal for all of it. But what we're going to do first is go over the YFZ450 that we got. I did get the powder coating done already today, so that's done. But I didn't get any of the other parts done. So we just did the frame, and I'm going to go ahead and try to get all the other red stuff blasted in the next few days, and then get that in the next video, get it all done, and then we'll start on all the silver stuff and all the Cerakoting, get it all cleaned up. We're going to kind of piece the bolts together. I have tons of bolts here. What I'm going to do is blast those and powder coat those black, so it's going to be a nice clean look to them without having them be all crazy. And I can't find a bolt kit for it, and the only bolt kit that I can find is from Alloy Bolts, and it's like $100 or $220 or something like that. But we're trying to keep this budget friendly. But frame, you're going to get your frame, and you're going to get it, and you need to just strip out everything that's rubber. Meaning, your steering stem, it needs to come out of there. The steering stem has to come out. There's a little tool that I have over here. Go ahead and get you one of these. It's only like 15, 20 bucks. Hardened steel. And it is a 1/2-inch drive. Works really well in your impact. But get you that. You can use a little nut, but I do so many of these Yamahas that I went ahead and got that. That steering stem has to come out. That bearing has to come out of there. So it goes up in here. You need to get that out of there. That has to be out. Any of your rubber spots or little rubber caps or rubber grommets, all that stuff's got to come out of there. You can't have any of that in there. Your part is going to need to be really thoroughly pressure washed and cleaned if you can do that. So get you a nice good degreaser, scrub it down as best as you can, getting those nooks and crannies. And a lot of time you get a lot of grease up in there where the A-arms go. If you got a pressure washer, hit it with the pressure washer. If you have a heated one, even better. If you don't have a heated one, do it when it's 90 degrees outside. Let your frame get nice and hot. Leave your water hose out in the sun. That old water hose will get up to 100-something degrees. And then pressure wash the crap out of this thing. Make sure you get it as clean as possible. That's less things for your powder coater. And the less, the cheaper, the better, the easier. So you get all that cleaned out. You get all your rubber and stuff out of there. You want to make sure that you have all of your bolts and nuts out of there and your threads look decent. I run a thread tap through all my stuff because I powder coat it and I don't plug any of the things, but I do run a thread tap, so you can get a cheap one of these sets off of Amazon. The main ones that I use are my Yamahas or the M8 and the M6, which is here. and in here. And then for the foot pegs, they're usually something different. I think they're like a M10 1.25. You want to make sure that you know that thread size, because the one that comes with these kits is a M10. M10, I think it's a 1.5, and you don't want to mess your threads up. So make sure you know what threads you'll be using, and you get that tapped out nice. Your powder coater is going to get your frame. They're going to sandblast and blast your frame, media blast it, take all the coatings and stuff off there. They're going to tape off any areas that they know the bearings are going to sit up till. So they know the bearings are going to sit up in. So as you saw, I did have it taped off up there to where that steering stem bearing is going to be, because that's going to kind of make it tighter, even if you have to do that. Now, there is a stripper that you can buy that takes the powder off just in case there's any issues. And I have some somewhere, an aircraft remover. Rust-Oleum aircraft remover, get you a nice little brush, but this will take off. This will take it off down to the plastic. I mean, down to the frame. You don't want this on anything else. So if you're going to do that, I am also going to show in a later video, if your powder coater does powder coat over top of your VIN number, finding it, you're going to have to do that on your own, by how to strip it and get it cleaned up and looking decent to where, you know, you want to have that VIN exposed if you want. I do know that when I have things and I want to have my VIN exposed and I have a title, we're going to be doing on that Raptor 250. But your powder coater is going to get your frame, they're going to blast it, and then they're going to put it into the oven and do a gas out on it. Anything in the oven at 350 degrees in that 400 degree area, it's going to melt. It's going to become a huge issue. This is going to allow any of the oils that are in your frame to be baked out, gassed out. That's gassing it out, getting all that oils and stuff out of it. Once they take it out of the oven in about 30 minutes to an hour, whichever one, different powder coaters, different places will do different things, you'll look at it. If there's shiny spots on it, you're going to clean those areas up. You're going to blast that area again, and then you're going to put it back in the oven and kind of repeat until that doesn't happen anymore. But it's going to be a lot of heat, going to it to get these things prepped. So the more dirt and oil you all get off of there, the better it's going to be for your powder coater. So that's the first little tips. To the YFZ, you all saw what it looked like. You see the frame now. We did do it in an Illusion Cherry. So we're going to get it down here off the rack, and we're going to get it over here on the stand and take some looks. But if you all are interested in my rack, I did just buy some steel. And I used to push it in here like this, and that was a challenge. So I'm not the best welder. It looks like crap, but it works. This is like a shopping cart from Walmart now. Every time I use this, though, I do spray my wheels down with WD-40 or some penetrating oil, just because once you do the gas out, it dries these bearings up, and then they do not want to move the best. And then, you know, there's a little bit of grit and stuff in here, but you put two hands on here, one hand here, one hand here, push it into the oven. There's absolutely no problems doing that. The only challenge you have is that I like to hang my gloves or something off of it so that later on I don't come in here and get jabbed. Because right here is where it's at. And if you're bent over, you're doing anything, that's prime time for the face. So when I do store it, typically I'll have this side back up against the wall. You know, I'll go ahead and just show you. If I don't put it into my oven at nighttime, the way it's stored is typically like this. It'll just be in here, or it'll be in my oven. Both racks will be in the oven. But we're going to go ahead and get this frame down, take a good look at it. Okay, so here we have it. 2008 YFZ450 frame. We did it with the Illusion Cherry. And as you see, I don't know if the camera can get it, but there's a lot of sparkle in there. Yes, what you expect from those Illusion colors, that nice. It's not a flat burgundy at all, but I need to see, let me cut my flash on. Yeah, there we go. That looks a lot better. See a lot of that glitter in there. Or the Illusion look. I mean, that looks crazy good, right? When we get down to here, and I do mask off my VIN number so you can still see it. It was kind of rough, but that is a JY4AJ YFZ450C008247. I'm pretty sure that's a... But yeah, I mean, we did really good on this one. So some of the imperfections you'll see are just OEM welds that weren't the best. I mean, if I would keep this and do it myself, I would take the extra step and go a little bit further and work on like a little sander, sand that spatter off of there, make sure all that's cleaned up and looking nice, but yeah, we're good for now. It's the same, like there's casting imperfections in this here. So like that's a casting imperfection there and that there, because this is steel with the aluminum subframe, so it's a lot lighter than the Banshee ones that I've been doing. And man, this thing looks, man, it looks real good. Look at that. So you all let me know, what do you think of the frame? I think the frame looks absolutely wonderful. Right now it's ready for me to go ahead and drop the steering stem bearing in there, and I can go ahead and put, there's a little plastic grommet that goes in there and two of them that goes up into the frame. Steering stem bearing goes up there. That little plastic grommet will go right here. And then up in here will be where those two plugs go. Go ahead and get those plugged off. And you know, we should be good. I think it looks good. Now we just have the challenge of getting all this other stuff together. So what I'm hoping to do in the next video is get the A-arms done, get those front A-arms done, get those Cerakoted and installed on here, along with the hubs or the knuckles, the spindles, get those installed on here. Also, I have a little pile of black parts. That's going to be simple. I'll get those powder coated as well. Front and rear bumpers are going to be powder coated. But yeah, I'm going to be working on those front arms here soon. I would like to do all the silver at once, but sometimes that becomes a challenge just because there's way too many things just apart. So I'll have the arms apart. I'll have the calipers and front and rear and the master cylinders. There's just a lot of moving little pieces. And, you know, I might just do it as separate. Yeah, I'm probably going to just do it separate. So, right now we're going to go ahead and conclude this video. If you enjoy this kind of content, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. And these tips will help your powder coater out. Definitely so. I'm not a professional powder coater, but these are the things that I've seen in a few of the frames that I did. Get your bearings and your bushings taken out of there. And understand that just go ahead and just be ready to replace all that stuff, because that stuff comes out how it comes out. And there's not a burden of proof to be like, hey, this bearing is good, that bearing's bad. If you take them out, just go ahead and just replace them. Bearings aren't super expensive depending on what you want to go with. But we're good. If you enjoy this kind of content right now, hit the like button and subscribe as I stated. Check out the 93 Retro Mod Banshee that we did over here. And then also check out the Raptor that we did over here.